Imagine a farmer who's getting up every morning at 5 a.m. He puts grain in the back of his tractor and drives out to feed his cows. Then he takes the tractor and goes back again. Now imagine him doing this every single day for 10 years. Eventually, he will create ruts so deep that he only has to put the tractor in gear. He can even let go of the steering wheel. The tractor will take him to the cows and the same spot he's been going for years, no matter what. Are you stuck in your old ruts? Have you let go of the steering wheel? Is the path you're on and the habits you've adopted so far truly taking you where you want to in your financial life? If your answer isn't an obvious, "Yep, I'm totally crushing it right now," this video is for you. Here, I'll present the 5 greatest habits of millionaires from Dean Graziosi's book, Millionaire Success Habits. It's amazing how small shifts can yield big results in the long run. Tony Robbins famously said, "People will overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 5. Let this video be the start of those 5 amazing years. Let's dive in. Takeaway number 1. Understand your why. It all starts here. Without a strong why, you'll soon be back in your old habits again. As soon as you face even the slightest bit of headwind, you'll be eager to return to the path of least resistance. Not so when you have a great why though. Here's a perfect example that Dean Graziosi presents in the book. My mom died a few years ago, and when she did, I was a drug addict. I feel like I completely let her down as a son. She was a good mom who worked her butt off to raise a good boy, but when she died, she didn't see that. After she passed, I quit doing drugs. I got my head on straight, and I'm on this mission. I'm going to show my mother in heaven that she raised one awesome son who's going to make a positive impact on the world. Can you imagine this person procrastinating in his bed in the morning, setting up his 3rd snooze while thinking, "Sorry mom, I'm probably not meant for positive impacts. I feel kinda tired today." Of course not! With a why of this caliber, not even the worst of hangovers will be able to keep you from jumping out of bed and getting to work. This is a crazy powerful millionaire success habit, and Dean Graziosi suggests that you can find your true why by doing something he calls the 7 levels deep exercise. Basically, you should get someone to ask why you want to do something 7 times. For instance, you can start out with the following question. Why do you watch a video about millionaire success habits? Your answer to the first few whys will probably be rehearsed ones that you've always told yourself, like, because I want to be able to quit my 9 to 5, or because I want to be able to impress some beautiful girls, or because I want to be able to travel the world. And while these are good answers, they're clearly not as powerful as the example I presented before. The second why will be a follow-up, like, well, why do you want to be able to quit your 9 to 5? It's only at the 5th, 6th, or 7th why that you are truly getting some powerful answers. Don't stop before 7, and have someone you feel comfortable with doing the exercise with you. Takeaway number 2. Kill off the villain inside. Inside of all of us, there's an anti-hero living. This villain is the person who keeps saying, "You can't do that," or "What makes you think you deserve that?" whenever we try to reach a higher goal. There are ways that we feed this guy daily, among others, through our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our body language. Sometimes other people's villains are even cooperating with our own through our external environment. If we want to achieve success of any kind, be it financially, romantically, aesthetically, artistically, we must learn what feeds this villain and, on the other hand, what starves him out. I've made videos on how your thoughts and your words can affect you previously, so please check those out if you're interested. But now, let's first talk about actions. Actually no, I have one quick thing to say regarding your words. Try switching, "Well, I'm okay," into "Fantastic," and "I'm so stressed out right now because of everything I have to do," into "My life is filled with opportunities, of which I am truly grateful." Okay, now let's focus on actions. One action that turns our inner villain into a real supervillain is by doing something that we're terrible at. And what's one of the most common advice that we are raised to believe thanks to our teachers, parents, friends, and strangers in the streets? You must work on your weaknesses. Think about it. In school, if you were terrible at doing algebra, for example, didn't the teachers encourage you, perhaps even create extra classes for you, to really work hard and remove that weakness? Didn't your parents cheer you on, or force you, to put in extra effort every time you had homework in that subject? The millionaire success habit that will allow you to minimize the inner villain is to do the exact opposite. Focus on what you're naturally good at and become exceptional at that instead. More on this in takeaway number 4. A very important factor in our external environment is the news we're exposed to. I think most people aren't even aware that this is robbing them of their success. But think about it. Every day we are bombarded with negativity. Wars, scarcity, disasters, terrorist attacks, sickness, and suffering. It's difficult to focus on positive thoughts and your next level of success while you're constantly fed information on a world that seems like it's doomed. The solution? Cut off the daily feed or convert into listening to a very niched field, like investing. Still, you have to beware of negativity though. Takeaway number 3. Create confidence by becoming your heroic self. When was the last time you made a great investment, an important sale, or got a promotion when your confidence was in the toilet? My guess is probably never. The truth is that even a 5% decrease in confidence can keep us from doing that important thing that would have meant all the difference. So how do we stay at 100%? Try doing this exercise. Find a truly unflattering picture of yourself. Perhaps you just seemed drained of energy that day, was a little bit overweight, or had a bad hair day. Now put that picture on a paper. Associate unflattering words with the picture that you might have felt when you were hitting rock bottom of your life, like embarrassed, insecure, boring, etc. And now name that person. Give it a nickname that you definitely wouldn't want, like Michael the Mouse. On the opposite side of the same paper, put a picture that shows your best sides. This should be from a time when you looked great and felt great. Perhaps you had recently closed a big deal. Associate your strengths and positive attributes that you have at times when you feel great with this picture. Name this heroic version of you something awesome, like Michael the Mighty. Also add some attributes and strengths that you want to develop in the future. Take a picture of these two persons next to each other. From now on, you're officially the hero version, Michael the Mighty. Sometimes our confidence can take a hit. How quick you're able to recover from such a bump in the road is of major importance for your future success. When this happens, bring out the two pictures of you and say, do I want to be the old version of myself that lets life control me, or do I want to be the new hero version of me? Use this as a trigger. You should truly be disgusted by your old self and inspired by your heroic self. Of course you don't want to be Michael the Mouse. You want to be, and you are meant to be, Michael the Mighty. Now go act like it. Takeaway number 4. Look at things from a return on investment perspective. Should you do everything by yourself? Is it a good idea that you're at your 9 to 5, work on your entrepreneurial project, do your dishes, cook your meals every day, clean your house, do your laundry, iron your shirts, mow your lawn, etc., all by yourself? The answer is no, it's not. Why? Because you have areas in which you are exceptionally talented, and others where you are truly inefficient. For example, if cooking food every day is a duty which drains much of your energy and which takes a considerable amount of time, you should probably try to outsource that activity. Chances are that someone else is willing to do this activity for you, and that they are much more efficient doing it anyways. Chances are also that you are much more efficient when doing something else. You must start to look at things from a return on investment perspective. If your hourly wage doing what you're best at is, say, $50, it wouldn't make sense to cook for an hour every day just so that you could save $10 buying food from a grocery store instead of a restaurant. To understand what to outsource, you can create a unique ability circle. Take a piece of paper and create a circle in the middle of it. In that circle, you write unique ability. Now, add 3 more circles around the first one and write excellent, good, and stink in that order. In the middle, you write the abilities and activities that you are amazing at, those that makes you the most amount of money and that you enjoy the most. See to it that most of your days consist of activities from the inner part of this circle. Outsource everything else. Takeaway number 5. 3 productivity hacks. Productivity is something that moves you towards your goal. Everything else makes you lose momentum. For instance, a new real estate investor should only focus on this: create unique marketing, making offers, building a buyer's list, and selling houses. Anything else is basically waste. Here are 3 tips on how to improve this truly important millionaire success habit. Schedule your day. Perhaps you think that this one is obvious and that you've heard it before, but do you really have a schedule? And if you do you really follow it? I think that the most common reason why people fail with this habit is because they bite more than they can chew. Try scheduling 2 hours of uninterrupted productive work each day on your project of choice. Scale up only once you've shown yourself that you can do it and once you've turned it into a habit. Build systems around your working processes. Systemizing your most common working habits will increase your productivity tremendously because you'll reduce the resistance for getting started. There's never any confusion or hesitation associated with what your next task is. I've developed such a process for these YouTube videos that I'm presenting you with. Basically, it looks something like this. 1. Read book and add highlights. 2. Filter out the most important takeaways. 3. Write a script. 4. Record voice. 5. Animate. Once you have a baseline, it's also much easier to improve the process. For instance, if I find that reading the book is the bottleneck in the process, as it might take up to 50% of the total time associated with producing the video, I will focus my energy on improving that step of the process first. Don't be accessible at all times. This goes for emails, social media, and phone calls. In time, people will learn and accept that you're not available 24/7, and they will respect that. Also, never try to rationalize unproductive distractions. Just because you are having a bad day and aren't getting anywhere on a particularly difficult task doesn't mean that it's okay to suddenly go on some social media spree. You can set limits on your phone on how much time you're allowed to spend using certain apps every day. In conclusion, understanding your true why will allow you to stay the course, even during the toughest of times. Kill off the villain inside by phrasing yourself differently, focusing on your strengths instead of your weaknesses, and cutting out negative mainstream media. Remind yourself of the most flattering version of you every time your confidence takes a hit. Think about your activities from a return on investment perspective. It's neither possible nor desirable to be great at everything we do. Focus on your unique ability and outsource the rest. Increase your productivity by scheduling your day, building systems, and not being accessible at all times. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week.